Hello, welcome back to school. Okay, so it's like midnight right now, and I've been up since like 10:30. I went to bed super early, and I think it totally messed up my schedule in the sense of my sleeping. So, I was watching some more videos on planning. I had got a new planner. I didn't show you the one from last. Let me get the one from last year. Okay, so this is the one we did from last year. This is the new one. So this one was the same one from the previous one. So the only thing I added was Latin. So I did maths, reading and write. Well, actually, I think that's just writing and then reading. These two are specifically for Braille. We incorporate some Braille for maths, but we haven't done maths in a while. And then music, we were doing a Braille curriculum for that, and I don't know, stuff just happened. And then piano and organ stuff that I was working through. And then Latin was the one that was added, and then the adulting section was where I kept all my appointments and all that other stuff. So this planner wasn't really used a whole bunch. Like, it was used at some points, but not as often. So I kind of stepped back from this one, although it's really cool that it can be like made your own and your stuff can be put in there. Your courses, it's just like it wasn't really working. And then I had all this back paper, blank paper. We used some of it, but not a lot. And then there's like reading lists and all kinds of future stuff you could get, or curriculum ideas. I mean, there's a bunch of really cool things in here, but it wasn't really being used. So instead of spending another $80 or however much this thing cost, because it's pretty thick, which is another drawback, it's really thick. And if you're already carrying, whatever books with you out and about, plus your planner, it's just really heavy. So, yeah. So instead of spending another $80, and doing that, I went with a SchoolNest planner. This is the minimalist one. I think it's the one. Yeah, this is a minimalist. I never done this one before, but yeah. I'm going to really miss my star cover and my little, this was the quote we had, repetitio est mater studiorum. Studiorum. I totally cannot say that word right. I'm going to miss this, but it is what it is. But this was a Plum Planner, really cool place if you want to go all out with your planning. I thought the constellation thing was pretty cool. So that was from last time we used it, and it really wasn't used as much as I was hoping it would. So this one, I'm not real gung-ho on the fact that it says homeschool planner or lesson plan on it, but it's okay. It's totally cool. It's a lot lighter, which is super nice. I think it's like 200 some odd pages, but it's like super light. I got this, instead of getting it straight from the SchoolNest, gotta get that T in there. Instead of getting it straight from the SchoolNest, website, I just got this on Amazon. I mean, I found it on the SchoolNest website, and it says buy on Amazon. So that's what I did. I just got this on Amazon. It was like $25, $26, which is much better than the $80 some odd I was spending here on very high quality paper and the little tabs and all the other, bells and whistles. I have heard other people taking their planners apart and like putting them into these planners, or, putting specialty pages that are not in here from other planners. So I don't know if I'll do that, but there are definitely a lot of pages in here, both from this copy and from the other copy, that I can definitely, cut up or take out and utilize in another format, spiral bind in a different binding or something. But I really like the green. I forget what the actual thing is called, but I really like the green. I think it was a little inspiration of my little camping thing I went on. It was just like, I really like the green. So I got the green. I guess it kind of brings me a little bit more down to earth as opposed to being up in the stars. So yeah. So nothing in this book is written up. We're gonna kind of go through and see how this might be used, but whether or not if that's true, I don't know. So in the sense of going through this, I don't have a hard surface, so this might be a little wonky. I will use that one to kind of, yeah. This one is super thick, so it's not going to hold up as well. I do have a printout. Now in the front here, we had a calendar for holidays and things like that, days that we weren't meeting. But we have another one, so we're gonna print that out, and it's got more dates and stuff in it. So I might just do the same thing, just tape it in here. It's right up front. It's easy to find. And then we'll just kind of go off that as needed. And then there's like a content page. Now this thing, from what I've seen on other videos, it's kind of like a vision board thing, which I'm still new to the whole concept of a vision board, but I guess it's like a page where you put a bunch of inspirational quotes and pictures and things that you want to accomplish for the year. So that would be kind of interesting in the sense of like actually setting up some things to actually think about, okay, what are things that I need to get done, or what are things that I want to try to accomplish. And there's a bunch of stuff, like both academically and personally, that this might come in handy. Yeah, I think this is just another blank page. The lines on this is quite faint, so I'm gonna have a little bit of an interesting time using it. But I'm kind of leaning a lot on what I've seen from other videos. There's a couple pages for calendars. So this is it's undated, which, considering things are kind of in a wonk position right now, with teacher and with magister, we don't have specific dates and stuff right now of when we're meeting. It's kind of like when we meet. So this might be used for just tracking like when we actually meet. I don't know. And let me see, do these both say calendar? That one says calendar. That one says calendar. So yeah, I guess I could use one for teacher and one for magister. I don't know. And then there's, let's see what this is. Events and activities. Okay, so events I could possibly use. Possibly marking down like musical events. choir concerts or whatever, although there's really not a whole bunch. There's just that one at the end of November. But then, other musical events that I'm doing, whether or not if I'm doing a prelude or postlude or something, special music type thing. Activities, I don't know. I guess I could probably use this for like personal appointments and things. I don't know. But yeah, we'll kind of see how that works out. And then let's see what this one is. This is, this is like I guess some people use it as attendance, or, I just recently saw a video, someone was tracking, their children's music practice outside of their lessons. That actually might be a pretty good idea, although I do like the idea of kind of tracking down like what days I'm actually doing stuff, whether or not if it's in meeting that we meet or if it's like outside, because there are times that I do assignments and things and it's on a day that we don't meet or something, but I don't know. So that might be interesting. It might be a little motivational thing to kind of like help me with actually persisting through stuff. And then there's another tracker, which is that one numbered? Yeah, this one is number 2. So this might be interesting. I could use this one for like academic-y type stuff, and I could potentially use this for practice. I don't know. I haven't really figured that out. Then the next couple pages are progress trackers. So these, a lot of stuff that I've seen on these are actual curriculum tracker. So like mathematics, I don't know, maybe science if they're doing a science, language arts, stuff like that. Now, like with we would probably have Latin, but we're using I'm studying from 2 different materials for Latin, so do I put that under 1 or do I put that under 2? And the same with mathematics. We have quite a few materials that we're using for mathematics. So yeah, I don't know how to use that. There's not as many pages of these, which is kind of a bummer. So what I might do is I might make extra copies of these and then kind of put them in a fold-out plan or just somehow tape them in here or something. But there's definitely not enough tracking with the numbers. And then I guess more tracking. I guess if like your lesson material has more than whatever, I think there's 180 boxes here. So if your lesson books have more than 180 boxes, I guess you could like double or triple, or obviously you can't. Yeah, you'd have to find a way of doing that, but I guess you could like divide and multiply, however you want to do that. So we'll have to figure out what to do with that. I do like the ones that are pre-numbered, just because it's a little bit less work. So yeah. But these ones might be good too, because you can actually handwrite the numbers and they will be a little bit bigger. So yeah, I don't know. The next section, let's see. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of pages for book lists. And the cool thing is they got this cute little bookshelf thing that you could like color. So if you like to color, you could do that. So something I'm thinking on using this is marking out the books we're currently using, I guess you can say like the next step or whatnot. like with the Latin, or maybe with, like if we start whatever thing comes after the states and capital stuff, and try to have a progression in that way. The another option is possibly having a list of books that I would personally like to read through, both like spiritually and just some other books that I've purchased that it's like, yeah, I would like to learn more about this and read this book. And I started a couple of those and I haven't finished them. One of them I just read the introduction and I haven't had time to go through. So I think setting up like these are the books I would like to read through with Caesar. Caesar is what I'm calling that reading thing, the LyriQ. I'll put a post in the, or a video link in the description about that. But I have a device where you actually just stick a book under it and it will take a picture and then it will read the text more or less. Not the greatest reading voice, but it is what you get. Obviously, if you can't afford, an actual decent reading thing with Snoop Dogg or whoever, then you're kind of SOL. But it is what it is. But that's something that I would like to do, is try to indicate books that I am reading or books that I would like to read, so that I could actually like get some stuff off my shelf and get them back on the bookshelves, get them off my desk, and get them back on the bookshelves, or give them away if I don't like them or whatever. I don't know, but I've got a whole library and I want to start to utilize it and try to make as much progress on reading some of that stuff, even if I am just listening and following along with the reading thing. So that's an idea for that. Let me see what this next section is. Okay, so this is lists and plans. I guess this might be an idea for writing in curriculum stuff too. It looks like there's like 4 boxes, so they're not totally specified, but they can be, yeah. Like what I could do with these, I could possibly write out the curriculum that we're actually using, like say with the mathematics, write down everything we're using. With the Braille reading, write down what we're using. Latin, write down what we're doing with that. Music, write down what we're using with that. Organ or something, I could write down what it is that I'm actually working on, so that I can there's a actual progress or a list of stuff. Hey, this is what we're doing. So I think there's a couple pages of that. This, let's see, this one here, looks like it says notes. So I guess this is notes. Okay, so this is your planning for the month. This might actually be good when we have a conference or something. I really would like to have a conference to discuss some things and to really try to get stuff planned and try to make some progress. This past week, the last time we met, we had a bunch of Latin stuff to do, and I had just got some new stuff, which included this planner. And I wanted to show him, and I says, I got some stuff that I want to show you, but I really want to get done with our lesson work so that we don't have that hanging into the next week. So I'd actually bit the bullet and did some stuff in advance, did some copy work and drill forms and things before we met, so that kind of helped. So I think part of this might be me doing more outside assignments and not necessarily doing it with him in class. There are some stuff that I can do on my own to kind of help speed things up and hopefully have a progression. And I think we're kind of leaning on about 1 to 2 lessons for Latin to get through. And I think if we stick with that, to kind of divide that up throughout the year and see, how many weeks we have available, taking out holidays and stuff, and then seeing how that fits in. And the same would be true with music. If I'm learning a piece of music and it has 100 some odd measures in it, how am I going to break up those sections and learn them and get them done in time for whatever it is that I need to learn them for? So having that stuff planned out, I think will help in with just help me get that stuff done. So yeah, I don't know how we're gonna do this or what we're gonna do, but I guess we could just take notes here. And I think you literally read out the calendar here, but I'm not sure. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it looks like your months or your days of the week go across. Your month looks like it goes up here. And then from what I've been told, you put your date, your actual number days, like in the corner of the calendar, and then you just write in stuff. So potentially I could kind of see this as us writing out, okay, tentatively we could do Latin on this day and this day and this day. We can do states and capitals on this day, and we could do music on this day or whatever. And I could practice on this day, this day, and I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know. I just kind of throwing out ideas because I'm not sure exactly how this is going to work. Okay, so this is a planning and reflection page. I don't see any marks on here. I think this is literally just a blank page. I don't see any lines or anything, but I think these are just blank pages, but I'm not sure. So I think this would kind of be used for how or what you're going to actually, accomplish. I did see someone do at the end of the month or at the end of the week, I don't know what it was, but they did questions how is this curriculum going? How is, is there different options that we can use if this thing is not going well? I think this might be for the whole month, but I'm not sure. But I really do like the idea of actually writing out reflection questions of how things are going. What can be done to make things better for making, not necessarily making progress, but getting stuff done, but getting it done well. And there's another notes and another month of. Okay, so I think I figured that out. So this is where all your months are. Okay, so all of those front pages were literally just months. This is another month of planning. Is this where you actually do your planning? Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay, so this must be your 12th month. So there's a whole bunch of these plans and reflect pages. And then here are your actual weekly overviews. I don't know if we're going to have time to do a conference in the beginning or the end of the week to kind of look at the next week. We kind of did that. We kind of had a tentative plan of we might be able to meet on these days. I know we can't meet on these days, and we will be able to meet on these days. So I guess that would kind of be a good idea to kind of plan that ahead. But I don't know. Let me see what they have as far as boxes and things. So it looks like they're just a box here with a bunch of different things. Oh, this is interesting. So there's like a little grid thing here where you can track weekly progress on stuff. I guess people have used these for reading, like student reading and read alouds and different, I guess, habits. So I could possibly use this for like organ practice and things and just like tick off the days that I actually do organ practice and stuff. Yeah, so that might be a good idea to use that for. And then I am not sure. I think the rest of this is literally just blank. So this is literally, it looks like it's just blank. There might be lines in it, but I can't really tell. Now here, your actual lesson plans. So this, you mark your date, or you mark your month, and then, what is this? The days of the week, I guess? I don't know. I guess you mark the days of the week, and then you put in your year. Interesting. But then it's like here you could put down your subjects, kind of like how I had on the side here in this other planner, and then your days of the week can go on top. So, okay, so that's your lesson plans. I guess this is where I could write down like assignments and things I want to get done for various subjects. And then you would go into your next week. And I guess the rest of the thing is very similar. Okay, then there's a weekly overview. And I guess the overview could be used for like end of the year, end of the week summary too. Is that the last page? I think that might be the last page. And then I guess you could use like the back ends for like reflection pages, like what worked, what didn't work, what are we gonna go to next? I don't know. And then I think there is a thank you thing. Well, I thought there was a thank you thing. Oh yeah, it's a thank you thing. So yeah, that is the planner I'll be using. I don't know what teacher's gonna be using, but yeah, that's what I'll be using. I'll have to figure out how to set it up and do all that fun stuff, but this is gonna be the new planner that I'll be using, and we'll see how it works out. Please like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget, ring the notification bell for all notifications.